Hello, welcome back. In the previous session, what we did was compile our WebAssembly, compile our Rust API to WebAssembly. In this follow-up video, we're going to use U and our Rust API for the Speak interpreter. It's much like this is very much like what I did in the previous video, with the key difference that instead of compiling to WebAssembly, we're going to use the U ecosystem to compile that for us. So internally, we're going to just call it like a normal function, but under the hood, it's being compiled to WebAssembly by trunk actually. We were using trunk serve, but trunk is an actual let me go to the website. Trunk CLI. Actually, no, that's not it. Right. Okay. So trunk is it's a build tool for basically building applications to Rust applications to target WebAssembly for the web. And if you want to create I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, basically this is it. It builds and bundles ships your Rust WebAssembly application to the web. So we're using that, and you're not calling the WebAssembly build command. We are going to use this tool. So what happens is that when we I've made a lot of changes on this part off screen, because I did not get a hang of this new system of function component. What I knew previously for you was it's called the Elm architecture, where we had a model and a view and an update portion of the application. So that was what was in our previous U version, which was much long ago. So the new way to handle the UI is using components, much like frameworks like Vue.js or React. I think this is a much simpler way of handling the viewing. So in our input, we have a state management. We have state management mechanism here. Then we have a reference to a node, a HTML node, and then an on-click callback. So here you have a text area, which we preempt the value. The default value is hello world. It's a single string. So any value in Speak, a Speak program is an expression, and an expression gives us a value. So even a string is an expression. I would have done print hello world, but I'm writing the way I use print internally in the program is that I am writing it to standard output instead of allowing a way to have a buffer such that the API, instead of writing to the standard output, it should write to the a buffer that the API provides. So that's a change that I'm going to make much later, but not for now. So when we have a value, we have the start value of hello world here. What happens is when you change the value, you must click run for it to dispatch the changes to the state, to the global state of the application. So let's try to run our application. Trunk serve port 89. Okay, so this is the input bit and the output bit. What happens with the output is that we also have the state, we also access the state, and then we pass the value, we pass the program input to the interpreter. This is the API I'm working with, much like what we did in the last video. So this should be easy to remember. So when I pass that, I should get the result, which is the output or the error. Then depending on the output, here I can maybe say style. Okay, if it's an error, I can say style equals color red. Is that how we did it last time? Let me do an error on purpose. An unexpected token. Okay, this is an error message, but I should have a way to color it. Maybe I'm missing something. Okay, let me try that. Okay, don't even sweat about it, we'll style later. But the important thing is that we can have our errors printed now, and also our program input also works. We can also work with functions. I should maybe check the speak program samples just to make sure everything works. I've done Fibonacci before. Let me do something I haven't, like an object. Okay, so what happens is I create a variable called name. I assign it the value Osoro. I create a variable called sex. I assign it the value male. Then I create another variable which is underscore age. I give it the value 23. Then I have a function signature that takes a name and returns an object of type, an object person. The object person is defined here. It holds a name, which it holds a string, which I give it as name. It holds a variable name of type number, which also has the value that was above here, name. It contains a variable, a field called sex, given the value Asopia, which is sex. Then it has a field age without an underscore, but for its value it's also you give it as this one here. Then I mutate the value by subtracting it with 2, which should give us 21. Then it returns the person. Okay, here we have x is, then I call the function called create person and give it a name of other guy. So name here is overshadowed. This name is overshadowed here. Okay, then I print the x.name other guy. It should give us other guy. So let's carry this over here to the playground, and then I should run. There's an issue. I'm using print line. It outputs to the standard output, which is not captured by the playground itself. But if I just return it as an expression, it should work. Other guy, right? What if I just return x? Right, it returns an object person. So everything works for now, but I should be able to make some changes such that I have an standard output buffer. If anything comes into the buffer, I also preempt it to the program output. So I think that's all for today. Moving forward, when I'm going to do the token stream and the syntax tree and making all the other changes, such as introducing a buffer for the standard output rights, I'll capture them on screen. While I was doing this, I haven't even committed the changes. It was a bit messy. There was a lot of back and forth, and it would not have been a clean video. But if there is a question, you can ask, you can make a PR, you can hit me up, anything. Bye. Thank you.